Now that, Michael, that was impressive.
Thank you, buddy.
That was impressive.
Man, I was trying, buddy.
That is the closest. So, what's up, guys?
For sure. How you doing, brother?
Good, bro. So let me tell you guys, week after week, although not the last few weeks, all right, before anyone says anything. But every once in a while, Michael would jump on, or even me, but a lot of times Michael's like, all right, I'm jumping on, Gabe. And I'm like, you got 1 minute, you got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
This time it was like I gave him like a 6-minute warning, and he's like, I'll be there in 5. Like I was watching the clock, and it was 8:01 here, so it was like 1 minute past, and I'm like, I'm just gonna start it, and then Michael just join us, and I click it, and then all of a sudden as the intros rolling, Michael pop up. I'm like, yeah, pretty damn.
Dude, I wanted to be back where it all started. You know what I mean? And I wanted to be in the gallery. And I told my managers, I said, hey, I'm out. Denise is up there, and boom. So I wanted to just get back to our old roots of things.
Yeah.
We were going to do a recording for Saturday, and I'm like, screw that shit.
Yeah. Recordings
are okay if it's like an interview with somebody or whatever, but there's nothing better than hanging out with all our friends.
Well, not only that, but there's a new show out. Everyone's talking about it. Like, I haven't been able
to. No, I'm just kidding. I just
look, and guys, this is one of the things. Like, I haven't talked to Michael about it. Like, I honestly, me and Michael haven't talked in this whole week. So like on the phone. So like this you're gonna get both of our opinions like live.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Who knows? Maybe it's maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I don't know.
Right. Man, it's so cool to see all these familiar faces, man.
I know. We're looking. We got Joel in the house. What's up, Joel?
Good to see you.
We got Matt. What's up, Matt? We got Chris. We got Kelvin, and we got Armando.
Yeah, good to see you.
We got a couple others that are here. Darth Wizzy Wizard.
Yeah, what's up, man?
We got Brad.
Up,
Thanks for making it, man. I know it was last minute, and look, here's the thing. Obviously, we apologize, guys. We haven't been, our normal Saturday.
Gabe's all smoozing every weekend with, how's George doing? George, Mr. Lucas, is he doing okay? I mean, it's the only person you haven't been hanging out with that I know of, unless something's happened the last day or something.
No, man. So what's funny is that, like, I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, Michael's just busy. Michael's just busy with the restaurant. But honestly, it's been both of, like, I mean, like, I've had kind of busy weekends. And honestly, like, I'm gonna have still a couple more busy weekends because, so for example, like my oldest daughter, Wendy, she's graduating from college, and that's coming up. This next Saturday, I have a concert, like an all-day concert that I'm going up to LA for. So there's a couple, there's gonna be a couple missed dates, but we're gonna try to get back on our normal schedule. We're gonna try to go back to Saturday at 8, right, Michael? And even even if it comes down to it where it's, Michael jumping on for a little bit, maybe with the guests, and then I'll jump on when I can, or vice versa. I'll start the show, and when Michael gets here. But what
I want to do though, I want to get back to where it all started, where we would have, before a lot of these other channels came around, we just get everybody to hop on, and we can hang out and. A lot of stuff went on. We had Monster Palooza last weekend, and of course, Wonderfest. I didn't make it. I know a lot of our friends went to Wonderfest, and did I say Sausage Fest or Wonderfest? Okay. Anyways, so I bet Robin was feeling really nervous when she was there. Nothing but respect.
Right. Oh, it got canceled. I didn't know that. No. I'm going to a punk rock festival in Pomona. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if because he's not feeling good or what. He's like 92, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean he's older, man. So,
and before we get started, I just want to tell this really cool story. So, it's just real fast. So when I'm at Dark Side, we're working every day up there and getting everything down. Everything's been going really well, by the way. But it's Denise got me to get on this microphone. You know, we did that. We'll talk about it later in the show, but we did this dinner with the stars. You know, we had the Back to the Future cast there, and Harry sang Earth Angel like it was like the movie. I mean, he did not miss a beat. I mean, it's just hard to believe it was 40 plus years later, and the way he sounded was incredible.
No.
Tonight, you know, I have people that bring little gifts and stuff, kind of like Gabe, how people gift us, you know, on the show, and they'll send you little things, which is awesome. But I had one of my servers come up and said, "Sir, there's somebody that wants to see you." A lot of times they want to say, "How did this happen? You know, how did you get all this stuff?" But there's this little boy. His name's Alex, you know, and he's probably 9 years old. Mm-hmm. He had this little Lego figure on a little stand and stuff that he made for me, you know. Oh. It was just so awesome. And I said, "You know what this is, Alex?" And I go, "You a Star Wars fan?" He said, "Yes, sir." He's real polite, great little kid. Yeah. You know, his parents were right there. And I said, "This is a ticket." And he looked at his parents. I go, "This is a ticket to Starkiller Ranch. So you're invited on Sunday to come out and visit the ranch." He was just so excited. You know what I mean? Showing the actual Star Wars collection. You know what I mean? So these little things, they just mean so much to me. You know, I don't know how much they realize it means to me, seeing this little 9-year-old boy who, you know, his generation of Star Wars, you know, is a lot to my poor kid. But, you know, it's just that age, you know, that he's just how we felt when we were kids. And then he got to, you know, he was very respectful and gave me this really cool little Lego.
Yeah. You got to put it in your shelves, man. You got to put it somewhere in there.
I told him this is going to go to my collection, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, but it just made me feel so good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, a lot to catch up on and talk about.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, it's been crazy. I mean, obviously you saw, right? I'm having a couple crazy weekends. But this last weekend, it's hard to top, man. So our buddy David Boudreau, you know, he's very well connected actually in Hollywood. And he's part of the, you know, the people that vote in the Academy. Yeah. So he got you know, he was lucky enough to get passes for this event, and super grateful because he invited me, you know, as his guest. So it was really cool. And we went up there. I was expecting like, oh, we're gonna see this panel, and that's it. You know, we're gonna see the panel. There's gonna be a little reception afterwards. And David's like, well, sometimes they talk to the people around, you know, so not always, but sometimes. I'm like, all right, cool. So we finished the panel. We got great seats because we waited like 2 hours before, maybe even longer, but because we wanted to get good seats. And then so we're in line because they opened up this back room where they have like all the screen use stuff, right? So we're kind of in line, and you know, I just was gonna film the costumes and stuff, you know, just for content. Right. And we find his friend Shane. And his friend Shane,
David Boudreau's friend.
David Boudreau's friend, yeah. And Shane is a director. He's an animator too, just like David. Well, Shane went to like college with Dave Filoni, and he's personal friends with Dave. Yeah. And we just happened to bump into him right when he was communicating with his assistant. So he was like, "Come on, guys." And me and David like look at each other like, "Wait, what's going on?" And we kind of get escorted, you know, around all the people waiting, and we go through this back door, and immediately they're like, "Hey, you guys can't be here," like, because we didn't have the special badges, because it was a private meet and greet. Right. We didn't have the special badges, and the lady was like, "Oh no, they're Dave Filoni's guests," and I'm like, "What?" Like, I'm like looking at David, like, "What the heck is going on?" And they bring us in through the back door, and like we walk in and there they are, and they're just like meeting, you know, it's a very private event, right? Like, again, it's the doors are locked to the
who all's in there, who's in the room.
So when we walk in, it's just in this, like, just the main cast, right? And then people that worked on the show, like the people that did the costumes, a couple of the actors that were like the secondary actors, a lot of the stunt actors. So maybe there was maybe like 30 people maybe in that room, and it was
didn't you say Hayden Christensen was in there?
No, but check, yeah, Hayden, yeah. So let me show you guys the picture really quick.
Yeah.
But so yeah, no, it was Dave Filoni, Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson, So here I am. Look at Rosario Dawson looking at me like she's in love with me.
Hey, what's going on there, buddy?
So anyways, so we get back there and we do this meet and greet, and again, it's very private. I'm wearing an Ahsoka shirt, so they're like eating it up. They're like, oh my god, I love the shirt. Natasha, who plays the girl in the yellow, she plays Sabine Wren, right, in the Ahsoka show. She recognizes me when we're taking the picture. She's like, why do I you look familiar, how do I know you? And I'm like, I met you last week at the
like Star Wars replicas. No, I'm sorry. You meant I'm Collection Wars. It's probably Collection.
I should have said,
come on, dude. God dang, man.
You should have. Yeah, that's what I
get that opportunity.
No, but I met her at the world premiere of the Acolyte the week before. So she's like, yeah, that's right. Anyways, we take our picture and we thought that's it. Like, they were kind of escorting everyone out. But David's friend Shane was there to meet Dave Filoni, like to talk with them, like one-on-one. So the assistant's like, no, they're staying here. Like, you're not kicking them out. So it's like me, David, Shane, and his friend. So then all of a sudden they escort us to the green room, which is this small patio. And in the back patio, man, there's only like 10 people back there. And 4 of them are these guys. So as soon as we walk in, David Boudreau makes a beeline straight to Hayden Christensen, who's like smoking a cigarette. He's like smoking a cigarette. Dude, David just starts chatting it up. And he's like, because he knows they have a mutual friend. So he's just chatting it up.
Darth Vader smokes.
Dude, right? Crazy. I see like Rosario Dawson and Natasha's the girl in the yellow. They're just sitting on the couch. I followed Shane, who's David's friend, towards Dave Filoni. And I look over and it's the StarWars.com people, like the PR people. And I recognize one of them because we're friends, we follow each other on social media. So I'm like, oh, perfect. I know someone back here, right? And I go and I'm just chatting with her, but I'm like literally right next to Dave Filoni and Shane, just talking about hockey. And like, they're just like, hey, do you remember this guy? Hey, do you still talk to this guy? Because apparently they are both animators. They both graduated from college the same time. They went to like, I think it was like Cal Arts, like the art school. And they were just talking about, they played hockey together in college. And I'm like looking over and David's over there just chatting it up with Darth Vader. And I'm like, what is going on? This is like the most surreal thing. But yeah, man, it was all thanks to David, and I was super grateful for it. I got to hang out with David. Not only that, so the event was cool. Obviously, we had a great time. But what was also really cool is to be able to hang out with David for, I hung out with them a couple hours before the event, and obviously after that too. And it was great, because we see our friends, once a year, if that, right, or online or on the phone. But it's kind of cool to hang out, with them, in person, right? Just because it's just different. So it's
Armando, man, I'm not going to say anything, but I don't know
what I'm going to say. Oh, what, Armando?
Hey, I just gotta say, because I know Armando's probably thinking the same thing. Yeah, that girl in the yellow. Damn, that is a banging ass outfit. I love that. It's sexy as hell, man. Damn, is all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Hey, so is Filoni not wearing a cowboy hat anymore, or what?
Yeah, both times that I've met him, he wasn't wearing the cowboy hat.
First time I was stalking. I met.
First time I was, yeah.
Hey, dude, you never know. Pretty soon he's gonna take you to the side and say, "Hey, can you go ahead and start doing?" You just never know.
No, they're gonna be like, "Hey, I've seen you quite a bit, man. Are you following me?"
I know, right? Now, if that was me, then they might say something. Hey, remember this guy on the wanted list in the back? We have him in the back.
That guy right there. No, honestly, the biggest thing for me, like, look, and we could talk about this because we're, look, I'm an original trilogy guy, regardless of like, if I like anything or else. I'm an OT guy. I'm just like you, right? Like that's our Star Wars. So like, to me, like even meeting Hayden Christensen, like, it's cool. Like, it's really cool, but it's like, Not as,
you're my sidekick now. I'm
there you go.
I'm your sidekick.
I'm Batman. You're Robin now.
Yeah. That
No.
asshole was always trying to get shit going, isn't he? Yeah, I love you, Brad. But anyway,
but for real, like I like Hayden. Like it's one of those things. Like, yeah, it's cool. Like it's cool meeting him, but I'm not like starstruck by meeting him. I'm like, oh, like, hey, what's up, man? Dave Filoni too. Like I'm not super starstruck. Like I'm like, oh, hey, Dave Filoni, right?
Yeah.
The Natasha, the Asian girl that's cool. It's cool to meet you. But Rosario Dawson, that one was the one when when I showed her the shirt, like there's a pic, like there's like literally a picture of me like flashing her because I like opened up my jacket, and she was just like, oh my God. And then she like, when I went up, she went in for the hug and she was like, oh, hugging me. I was just like,
did you feel it? Did you get a little? Yeah. I'm sorry, this is a family show. Okay.
That was, to me, that
like smelling everything.
What's funny is that no, like with her, it's not even because of that, but I was more like starstruck because of like all her other movies that I like, she's in like Clerks, right? Like Clerks 2, and like just like all the
she was in Clerks.
Yeah, like Kids. She was in Kids. So all these old movies are like movies from the 90s that I liked. And yeah, sure, she's Ahsoka, but like she was the only like movie star that I was just like, wow, that's
it's weird. But you, in these last few things that you've been to, Kathleen Kennedy hasn't been present, huh?
She was at the premiere, but I didn't see her. Like she didn't make it like all the way down to where I was by the time that I moved.
I know everybody can't stand her, but I still respect the hell out of that lady.
You know who I did see though at the premiere? I saw her twin sister.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And at first I thought it was her, and I was like, "Oh, is that Kathleen?"
Do they look? They're identical twins.
Oh, they're identical. They look just like each other. And like when I saw her, I was like, "Is that?" No, I was like, maybe not. And then later I saw another guy who I like was like talking to around there, like another like content creator, and I saw him post a story about that. Like I know Kathleen Kennedy's twin sister, and I was like, "Oh, that was the twin sister." So.
Hey, so because you've been around, you went to the premiere and everything, you think you're going to be a little biased to the acolytes or accolades?
You know what? I thought I would have, but I didn't meet the cast and I didn't do anything like that. I think why I might be biased is because I got to see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big difference because you know what? When with that event that I went with David, we got to watch one of the episodes of Ahsoka on there, the one where like she fights Darth Vader, like in the world between worlds, and it's 1,000,000% different. Like it's just like
I get it.
The scenery, the sound. I mean, it's a big difference. So I think the fact that I saw those first two in the movies, I think it does make it a little more biased because I got to experience it.
And that's a good way to put that out there. And also, it's also like an awakening to knowing that there's so many movies like that Roadhouse. I didn't really care for it much, the new Roadhouse, but it might have been different if we got to see it like the director wanted on the big screen. So all these things are coming out and they're going directly to streaming. And sure, you got a big screen TV, 100-inch. It's just not the same, right?
No, like I'm telling you, the Ahsoka one. Even like when I was chatting with David, because David wasn't the biggest fan of Ahsoka, right? Like we've talked about, and like, and he admitted he was just like, yeah, it's a big difference to watch it on the big screen, and it really is. It is, and they should do that. They should start releasing everything on the big screen before it goes to streaming. I don't know why they haven't, because it looks great, man.
I just want to say hi to Janine. I hadn't talked to her in forever. Hope she's doing good. Hope all you guys are doing good. It's so crazy to be back here again. It seems like forever,
I know. Well, we really haven't done like a show since the opening, I think. Right? We did
before we jump into the accolades. Yeah, we haven't really. It's been about a lot about Dark Side, which is cool and all, but let's say this show's not about Pizza Place. But the thing is all the things that have been coming out. One thing I can tell everybody is, besides today, I almost spent over 130 grand on a car and realized that it's not the thing to do. Denise is like, I mean, do you really need a time machine DeLorean? You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, babe, do we really need a Wampa? You know what I mean? But anyway, I did make the executive decision. The guy was looking at purchasing, it was a DeLorean time machine. Mm-hmm. It's badass, very accurate, and just didn't make sense right now.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at with this whole story is that since the opening, I haven't been buying anything. So I've been really saving,
No.
It's been nice, actually. No. But there's a lot of stuff that I'm missing out on that's been coming out with Sideshow. And I know that Gentle Giant, everybody knows how I love the jumbo figures. They've been coming out with some new ones. Excuse me. I'm excited about.
Yeah, man. I've been focusing on this. Look. I haven't propped them up yet, but
badass.
You see?
That's so cool. So is that where you're putting it, or you don't know yet?
Oh no, it's gonna go up on a wall. I just like I haven't.
Can you show us up close a little bit?
Yeah. You want me to go on the screen?
Yeah. Let's see it.
Well, a lot of the figures are.
So what? That's okay. It's cool seeing it in the making. Man, that is so awesome. So did you have the glass made?
So I ended up just having acrylic cut. But so here's the problem.
Nice.
So I made a big mistake though, because as I was measuring the glass and everything, I measured it exactly like to the biggest figure in that line, right? So for example, like this Han Solo, right? That was going to be the biggest one. But look, I messed up because I didn't calculate the thickness of the
yes.
So now look, he doesn't fit. He's like a tiny, like the size of the thing, too short. So now I got to figure out what I'm gonna do, because it's either I have to get new parts, like a little.
What I would do, I'm just gonna tell you, Gabe, my humble opinion, and I think I told you when you first went in, that R2 looks badass sitting back there. But what I would honestly do is, I know you went through that trouble, but I would get glass, and the reason is because see how you have the flex in the middle.
Yeah, they're gonna
start with it is heavier, and that's the good thing, because all my shelves in the background that I have, holding up all the stuff, that is plexi, but I've got I'm able to put the brackets in between where you're not able to do that. So when the figures are up, it might have a little bit of warp.
Yeah.
Unless you're using like IG-88 for the center to hold up from, you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, the IG-88, I left this one bigger because IG-88 is one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to. Like, I'm gonna have to do
That's all right. You're good at this stuff, Gabe. You'll do it. It'll look when I'm.
You like the background? Like it's felt like it's a felt yellow background.
I like how it looks kind of. I don't know if it's the shadowing or what, but it looks kind of like worn. It looks cool. Is that shadow?
It's just the shadow. Yeah, it's the shadow of each figure.
Yeah, it looks really cool
coming down.
It's a great job.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
it's very. Let me go back to normal. It's very satisfying to kind of. I wish I would have already had this set up. So as I was getting each one, I was.
I know.
Because that was a
disaster. You want to have the whole collection at once.
I know, it was a disaster just getting everything set up, because I had them all just laying there, and I already had their like weapon and everything all like in hand, and then all of a sudden I had to like just redo the whole thing. So anyways, yeah, man, I'm happy with that. Yeah, EFX just sent me their Bo-Katan helmet. That thing's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that briefly
today. Yeah. So cool. That one's cool. And then, yeah, I think Regal is releasing the Bib Fortuna, which
we've seen
about a year. Yeah, I mean, but you guys have seen it. It's the same one from Celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how the Jar Jar took off sales wise.
It ended up, they sold out of the legend, and then the signature edition, it was $99.
Okay.
It's gonna be the edition size.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Mr. McMaster's been working on Bob from the Black Hole, the beat up.
Oh, that's so cool, Joel. Look at that. Did you know that? So Joel sent me that little Yoda. That's his childhood Yoda. Man, that's really
dude,
cool.
that's incredible.
Dude, that's yeah. Oh man, I didn't know that.
So
Man.
when he came to visit, he hooked me up with some really badass things, man. And one of them was the batteries not included. Now I have to have the whole set, Joel. And I definitely went that low gray, or was that Chief Chirpa? It's low gray, wasn't it?
Was it? Oh yeah, low grade. Yeah.
My gosh, dude, those are badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool.
By the way, guys, I might be in Texas at the end of this month, Michael.
Really?
Dallas. I'm gonna be going to Dallas. There's a convention called Rebel Scum Con that they're throwing. It's the first one ever, and it's in Dallas. And I had seen those guys back when I went to LA Comic Con, and they approached me and they're like, "Hey man, we want to invite you. Like, we'll pay for your hotel and pay for your food and like your passes and all that stuff if you want to come." And they'll give me a panel. And I was like, all right, man, well, sure. Like, let me know, like give me some.
And where is it at?
In Dallas.
Oh.
So then they hit me up last week and they're like, hey man, like, are you still down to do it? And I'm like, well, yeah, like what do you want me to do? They're like, oh, just to come. Like, if you want your own panel, like we'll give you a panel. So I was like, all right, man. Well, I get if I just have to buy the flight out. So I am gonna go do that. I was waiting because I have a case that I didn't know if
So what's the panel? It's going to be your Star Wars replicas panel or what?
Yeah, I mean, I guess high-end collecting like this stuff, but I'm looking for people to join me because I don't want to just go up there by myself. Like, so I need some Dallas people. And I know it's Dallas is far away from you, Michael, but it's on a Sunday at 2 p.m.
I can maybe work it out. When is it?
The end of June. So June 24th, 27th, I think so it's in a couple weeks. I'm saying
I should be able to go.
Yeah, the 27th through the 30th.
Who's at the con? Who's going to be there?
So it's going to be Ahmed Best, who's the Jar Jar Binks. That's it. I mean, most of the other ones are like like stunt actors. Oh, the little Luke and Leia are going to be there, like the little ones, like the ones from the Kenobi show. That's a little boy.
Cool. Hey, I gotta say this real quick, just real fast, because I brought it up on this show. When we did the Dinner with the Stars with the Back to the Future cast, it's kind of a karma thing, and I was really excited about it. But everybody knows I was pretty pissed at James Tolkien, but I love that guy now. I think he's a good dude. I know that he was, and I'm not just changing, but I talked to him for a little bit.
All right.
Okay, so what happened was everybody knows I was pissed because this promoter was like, you don't need to go do that thing. You're going to do with it. We're going to have Michael J. Fox there and, all this stuff. And so I was like, what the hell? So anyway, I talked to everybody on the show about it, right? And then a week before we're to go do our show on that Saturday, I was talking to Claudia Wells, and I said, hey, Claudia, so when we put the tickets for sale, we had about 30 people that had purchased the tickets, before, and when he was going to be there. So do you think that he could at least send me some signed autographs?
Yeah.
And she goes, that's a great idea. That makes sense. Let me reach out to him. So not only did he overnight autographs to Claudia, so when she showed up here, we had 30 signed autographs from James Tolkien. But he didn't end up going to that show. He got sick. So F that promoter. F the son of a bitch. Dude, he didn't even go. And I got at least signed autographs, pictures.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let me tell you. I know I'm just being a dick, but I talked to him because he had called me and I didn't want to. I was just so pissed at him. I didn't want to. Anyway, so what he did I thought was honorable. So I called him and he answered and I said, James, this is Michael Hawes. I'm the guy with the Dark Side Pizza. And he goes, yeah, Michael, how you doing? And
Yeah.
I said, first of all, I hope that you're feeling better. And I want to say that was very honorable. And he goes, oh, absolutely. And I said, hopefully, somewhere near down the road, I'll get to see you. And I'd like to give you a hug and shake your hand and just say thank you so very much, and we talked for maybe 5 minutes, and that was it. But now we're good,
You're good.
And I never made a stink about it, before. I was just venting with you guys, of course. And it was, it was,
Yeah.
But yeah, and he ended up not going. Isn't that crazy?
See how things, maybe a little bit of karma there, a little bit of
it's crazy. It's crazy.
I know, man.
But we're starting anyway. That was the Dinner with the Stars thing. So
yeah.
So
well, cool, man. Well, did you get to you watched the Acolyte? You watched the first 2 episodes.
Gabe made me, guys. He made me.
Hold on. Okay, let's talk about it a little bit. Okay. Just in general, when you started watching it, like what were your thoughts, like just going in before you even watched it? Like, what did you have in your mind? Were you already like, eh?
So this is going to be a good conversation, everybody. So put your seatbelts on. So first off, we had a little talk about this several shows back about all the women's lib thing, and there was a lot of stuff about the director and all this other stuff, and I didn't really know what to expect going in. So by the way, right, if you're watching this right now and you haven't seen it, you might want to,
Yeah. Spoiler alert, right?
Yeah. So do you want me to start out or what?
I just want to know, like when you're like, all right, let's watch this. Like, what did you expect? Like, what was it? Like, what were your expectations? Right.
So anytime, I don't care if it was Boba Fett or what.
Yeah.
Anytime a new Star Wars show comes out, because it's Star Wars content, I'm always interested. I'm never not gonna, like our boy Pete. He will not watch them. And I think that's admirable. But it's content. So it's cool. But I think getting the nerdness out of me, if I can go into these where it doesn't ruin my mind of the original Star Wars stuff, then I think it's okay to watch them, because I've gotten past all that, because before it was ruining shit for me, because I was really trying to figure things out. And, Boba Fett didn't go through he did that. No. Anyway. So going into this thing, right out of the gate, action, pretty cool, and I was thinking, badass, the Matrix, Yeah, she was a hottie, dude. I thought she was great. And I remember talking to you because you got to go to the premiere, and we're talking about, it's kind of like a mystery thing.
Yeah.
The action was there, it was up and down. I always like seeing background ships or trying to see some of the things. The robot thing, I liked how the escape, how she was doing her thing, and but like. What I'm not going to give probably what you're saying, but I mean, it didn't have me clutched into that. It wasn't like if I got a text on my phone, I looked at my text. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't captivating. Yeah.
It wasn't. The mystery. It was starting out like kind of cool. This guy that. So like, will I watch part 3 coming out? Yes, I will.
Okay.
Because you always wanted it to get better, right?
Yeah.
And it's always going to be really tough when you have, all these different directors and all these different point of views. Like this director, a lot of people do not like this director, and I think that looking in, the hard thing about when they're directing these movies is the way they see Star Wars isn't the way, like, respectfully, a lot of us people on the show, like on my side, Gabe, I'm just kidding. They don't see it, Star Wars, like maybe that way. But I love, backstories about Jedis, and I think that was really cool. They showed like a new, lightsaber on the ground when they killed her and stuff. Killed the lady. But I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I did look at real quick. Sorry,
yeah.
I
No, no.
did look past all the director stuff, and I don't care. I don't even know all the details about any of that stuff. But you do see a lot of women walking the halls, and it's almost like make sure that we get mostly women. You know, and that's kind of irritating me. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we go from one. I know Janine's like, "Excuse me." No, I'm just kidding. You know, Nilda, she'll be like, "What?" But the thing is, though, I don't know. I don't know about any of that.
Far from Death Star. Kind of heartbroken. Michael watched this before Spaceballs.
Oh man, no, you know what? So we know where he's at on this. So, but we're gonna get a really good point of view from Gabe that saw it on the big screen. So, tell me your thoughts, honestly.
Yeah. So like, okay. So let me preface this with I was very disappointed as a Star Wars fan with like Book of Boba Fett. I was equally disappointed with like the Kenobi show. And again, I I don't yes, I blame, the storytelling and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
the writing because they
But I
don't.
but
Yeah,
I
the
also
best Obi-Wan besides Alec Guinness you could have.
but I also
With
blame
this-
myself though. But I also blame myself because I
Yeah,
had these high expectations, right? And that's unfair to set these like high expectations that, obviously the shows are not made for original trilogy fans. They're not. And I think that's where we got to start, right? That the hardcore original trilogy fans are not really a target demographic for Disney, for Star Wars at the moment. Even with Mando, like I don't think we're the target demographic. The target demographic are the prequel fans and below, right? Like so it's like the 30-year-olds going down, right? That's my opinion, right?
yeah,
Um and maybe because obviously they have to appeal to the younger people because they need to, the older OT guys, they're getting old, right? And they're not the ones that are going to be watching their shows, and they're not the ones that are going to be long-term, consumers of their stuff, right? The younger generations are, because they're going to be able to, they're going to be around for a while, right? So anyways, to start off with that, now when I went in it this time around, I cleared my mind. I said, you know what? I'm not even going to look at this like Star Wars. It's
yeah,
not.
because it's different.
Yeah,
It's
I
different.
said it's not Star Wars. Like, sure,
Yeah,
there's lightsabers in it, but I'm not even going to think about it like that. Like,
yeah.
it's
That's what I tried to do.
yeah, it's just a sci-fi movie or show. That's all it is. It's a sci-fi show. So that was my mentality going into it, right? So when I watched it, that first scene, I was surprised because and spoiler alert, right? They kill off the one of the main stars, right? Like within the first 10 minutes, right? And I'm always like, wait a second, like really? Like there's a lot of promotion around this character for them to like kill her off in the first 10 minutes, right?
Yeah,
So that confused me a little bit. The fight scenes, they're cool. Like they're very Japanese move, right? Like it felt very like Japanese old movie style to me. At least, some of those movements where it's like, they're like jumping up and they're like jumping on like the stairs, right? And like kind of floating up there. We haven't really seen too much of that from Star Wars. Like, yeah, we've seen some of the Jedi's like jump up real high or like jump down and they land, but we've never really seen them kind of like almost like ninjas, right?
yeah,
So I like that. I was like, that's cool. I appreciate that. And then once you start getting into the show, right? Um, I like that there was that little mystery there. Maybe I think they should have drawn that out a little bit more. And it might still, right? There might be a big twist coming up in the next
yeah,
couple episodes. But I also thought, I was like, whoa, that's weird that they like in the first two episodes, you already know kind of the plot, right? Like you already know that there's this
yeah.
twin,
And
right?
is this like Anakin's not born yet kind of thing? I don't even know. time frame.
Correct. Yeah. No. Anakin's not born yet. So this is basically it's 100 years before.
I thought it said something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's 100 years before the prequels, right? I think that's when it's set. So I think Yoda will be around. Some of those Jedis will probably still be around. I'm sure we're gonna see them, during the show. But anyway,
let me just jump in, because this is one thing about it, and I tried, because I was thinking what our conversations were going to be like when I was watching this, and I just want to know if these are Jedis, right? And I know I'm picking it apart right now.
That's what we're doing.
All right. It's like Return of the Jedi. Sister, so you have a twin sister. He read his mind, right?
Yeah.
So your thoughts have betrayed you too. So when they go to arrest that chick in the thing, saying that you were seen over here, and she says, I didn't do it, I was here. Then why, as a Jedi, why couldn't they read her mind like that one dude did?
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? There's just stuff like that. I know it's picking it apart. But I wish when they did Rogue One, I don't think there's very many OG original people that watched Rogue One that didn't say that was badass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the writer who did it was OG, you know what I mean? And I think that a lot of these new things that are coming out, they're bringing on you're going to be a director of Star Wars. And the thing is that these people don't know Star Wars. Yeah. And I think that if they have, directors and writers that aren't, I hear you're a good writer. Yeah, I'm a good writer. Okay, well, we need to bring you in and start writing something about these Jedis and just try to come up with some different concept stuff. I mean, that's the thing. I just don't think, I know there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into every one of these. And I know that even this one director right now that did this, I know that she did put her personal heart and soul into it. But however, I know now she probably knows a hell of a lot more, but going into it, she isn't knowledgeable like a lot of people are. And those are the people that are going to judge this movie. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And I think Far From Death Star brings up a good point, right? Yeah, we had as like old school fans, right? And again, look, I'm not one to go and trash, any of the shows. I can only say how I felt about them, and that's it. But yeah, I kind of same, right? Like we've had our heart broken so many times, right, in these last 7 years.
Yeah.
But again, it's because we're setting these weird expectations that they're going to cater to us, which they have in some ways, right? Like again, like you said, Rogue One, Andor. I think it's one of those
environments are cool. I love it.
You're right. It's a little bit different, and even though it was Star Wars, but it was something else, right? Which is cool. It was like a cool extension of Star Wars. And I think we talked,
and it didn't do anything at all to ruin original trilogy stuff.
Right, the original stuff. Right. And we talked about this. Like we talked about this a few weeks ago. I was like, I don't want them to touch like the original characters, the Skywalker side. Like leave that alone. Just like leave it. Like focus on another thing, which is good because that's what they're doing in this one. So again, look, as far as the writing and all that stuff, for what it was, and for I didn't go in with these high expectations. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I like the fact that it's like, I think with this one they struck a good balance between like, hey, let's cater to to the younger fans, but like let's have some type of like, I don't want to say mature topics, but like a little more complex like themes in it, right? Like
I wonder how today's generation, like at Dark Side, it's really cool because there's obviously there's a lot of old school OG big time fans, and they come in there with their kids wearing Star Wars shirts. It's really cool. And they will say, yeah, my kid just watched the old one. I mean, what I'm getting at is I wonder what it's like when we were, from the, in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and even, kind of getting into the 90s. But The reason I say 80s and 70s, that's when stuff was really happening for the first time, in that wow factor. Yeah. And this is big. I wonder if today's generation sees this Accolade and has that same wow factor that we have. I just don't think so. I mean, and the same with songs that come out on the radio right now. It's like, it's just nothing's original anymore. And it's just, I know it's, but would I rather say don't ever do another Star Wars movie again, Disney? I'm not saying that whatsoever, but I'm going to die with the old school stuff, And
and again, that and it's a good conversation to have, because as we're seeing a lot of, like the podcast. Oh,
sorry about that.
Tornadoes.
Yeah, I know, right? Out here, you'd think so. Now it's Amber Alerts.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. I don't, Chris, that's the thing. I don't believe that. Like, The Last Jedi was trash, and like that one was like legit. And I don't know about the Rotten Tomatoes scores on this one.
Wait. What is that? What does he mean by that?
So like Brad says, it has 28% on Rotten Tomatoes, on like the scores, like for the movie,
I don't ever see that stuff,
which is lower than The Last Jedi. So basically they're saying that these first 2 episodes are worse than The Last Jedi. Would you agree with that?
Me?
Yeah. The Last Jedi.
I know that was pretty.
And fun. I know you're a big fan because we went to your house.
Yeah, I know. All right, you want to start shit? I see how you're going to go with that. And I even paid $50 for that piece of shit, and I bought it before I saw the damn movie. Okay. But yeah.
You think it's these first 2 episodes were worse than The Last Jedi? Be honest. Yeah.
These just don't. They didn't. These did not do any. I mean, they got a pocket robot now. I mean, it just nothing about these. This one just, I'm sorry, but it would have been cool. Like when she crashes on the deal, there's already, she gets out and there's maybe a couple wampas in there. You know what I mean?
Wait, you're telling me
she's got to fight off the wampas. That'd be cool.
You're telling The Last Jedi that just fucked up with Luke Skywalker and just made him suck a titty. You're saying that these 2 episodes are worse than.
And Trump would have never allowed that. Anyways,
no, I don't agree with that. Like
I understand.
The Last Jedi ruined a lot for fans.
So it's really hard. I'm just going to say it's just not. Like, I'm excited to see Andor. I will be excited to see Andor. Yeah. And are they doing another Mandalorian, right? Mandalorian's coming out again?
Yeah, a new season and then a movie.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I didn't.
When the twins were young, they're not identical, and they grew up, they're identical. Those little things. Yeah, I mean,
that's when they're hitting hard on that stuff. But I don't. Just the bottom line, it is hard, Gabe, when you got, there's a good majority of the people in the chat are, real OG, and it's going to be.
Says The Last Jedi was the most hurt I've ever been with Star Wars.
Yeah. Can you imagine how Mark Hamill felt?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I wish they hadn't killed 2 of the 4 Jedis in the first 2 episodes. Moving too fast. So that's what I mean. Like that's the one thing I was surprised. But I've also seen clips of the Matrix lady fighting again. So I think they're gonna flash back somehow. I don't know.
She was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
I don't know how they're doing the timeline exactly, because we're gonna have to find out a lot. I mean, obviously, these are the first 2 episodes. I'm sure there's a lot. But don't forget Skeleton Crew. That's coming out. I think people are going to hate on Skeleton Crew just as much as this one, because
what is that? Where's Skeleton Crew?
It's about these little kids that are like, I guess, learning how to be Jedis, or I think that's what it's about. But
and I will say, I know they're trying to keep things equal, but bro, Wookiees don't have the Force. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
That one does. Why can't they have the Force? You're good.
I've had a cough for a month, man. I can't get rid of it. It's terrible since I started that place, man. I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah.
And it might be holding back something I really want to say about this show. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know about the.
So look, let's compare it, because I saw a comparison to Kill Bill, right? When you watch Kill Bill is very animated, right? It's very almost like a comic book, right? Like the way it's directed, it's not realistic, right? It's very exaggerated. It's very like, yeah, again, like it's paying homage to the old samurai
70s stuff.
Yeah, the 70s like exploitation samurai.
Yeah, I kind of actually like that. It's pretty
cool. Right. But what I'm saying is that when you compare it to Kill Bill, that kind of is where the plot is going, right? It's like this like exaggerated like list of, they're going after certain people that she wants to kill. So it really is kind of like Kill Bill, right? Like I'm going to go get revenge on these certain number of people, and it's following along, right? But as far as like it being Star Wars, again, even watching those 2 episodes, still don't see it as Star Wars, right?
Yeah, I don't know what they're leading up to, like that Luke Skywalker lookalike, skinny dude. That was floating
far from years. I agree. I mean, Kill Bill, anything Tarantino, man, I'm a huge fan.
But anyway, something's probably leading up to what they did that was really bad 9 years ago or some shit.
We said Wookiees don't have a man bun either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, look, as far as, because that's all people are complaining about, right? Like they're gonna say the storytelling's bad, like we don't care about the characters, like whatever, it's the storytelling. I've seen a lot of people that I was very surprised, like maybe are neutral about it, right? Which is kind of surprising, because I expected there's going to be a lot of the community just kind of hating on it.
Who wrote it? Who's the writers?
I think the
okay,
the director lady. Yeah.
That's can you imagine?
Yeah. So
I wonder how George Lucas. I know he won't really say or do it. And I know he's recently, as a lot of people know, went to that film festival, right? The cons, or what is that? What it was?
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing, some of his comments that he made and stuff. But he wasn't really dogging anything. But anyway, I'm curious what he thinks.
Wait, let's see. Liz says that your guy steaming his robes worse than Laura Dern and Benicio del Toro. Wait, what you got against Benicio del Toro?
Oh yeah, right.
I love Benicio del Toro.
Hey, but like this is a great example. Farver. Listen, Farver. What? How do you say his name? Farver
from Death Star. Yeah.
No. Farver. What's his name?
Favreau. Yeah.
Favreau. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he's old school. He's OG dude, and he had his hands in a lot on Mandalorian, and that was fucking badass. You know what I mean? So I wonder what Dave Filoni thinks about these.
Well, I mean, you also got to remember Dave Filoni, right? His background's in animation.
Yeah, it's more
right. Right. And again, he knows the target demographic, right? Target demographic are going to be the younger people, right? I mean, like I said, I enjoyed them, so I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't. I did like them, and I watched them again when they came out. So I've already watched them twice, and I can't think. I mean, honestly, like I can't think of one thing that stood out that I could say like I just absolutely hated that. The only one that I could complain about that I could say is
the Fett.
Well, oh yeah, no that.
Oh, you're talking about this show.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Acolyte. Yeah. Is the acting of the spice dealer, the one that made the poison.
Yeah.
That one was really bad acting. And I know like people are complaining about some of the actors, but that one to me, I was just like, oh man, like like timing was off. Like I don't know, something about his acting style I didn't like. Other than that, I mean, like I enjoyed it. Like um I'm curious to see what the bad guy is gonna look like. What the main guy? I know they had pictures of it. And he has like this weird zipper mouth across, like he kind of looks like the Kylo Ren dudes.
Is it
right?
kind of like a bondage kind of weird thing?
Kind
I
of,
know what you mean.
yeah, like the Gimp from.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Squeal like a pig. No, okay, yeah, that's crazy.
Get the Gimp.
The
No, what do you say? Bring the Gimp.
Yeah, that's another fucking weirdo movie that's awesome.
What? Pulp Fiction? Oh yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I thought you were going to talk crap about it.
It's like real shit. You know, these guys are going to kill each other, and then their buddy's going to kill this guy. I love all that. I love how the girl out in the street gets shot and shit. You know, just in the car crash. You know? But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
There's just no. I mean, the last good movie that's come out, dude, was Maverick. I mean, there hasn't been a good movie since. And you still haven't seen it.
Watched it. Milo Ren. Yeah, that's what he looks like. I don't see, everyone keeps on talking about episode 3. I've seen comments on both sides. I've seen some people say, I watched episode 1 through 4, and episode 3 is the best. And then I see
how many episodes are there?
10, 12? I don't know. 8, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, are they doing another Ben Kenobi?
No, I doubt that.
Yeah, can you imagine how good that one really could have been?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Could have been. Oh, there you go. It's 8 episodes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to know what these Jedi did that was so bad. That seems to be linchpin. Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely like there's definitely going to be some twist there, because again, I think the whole premise of it is, and I think the underlying kind of story arc is that it's the end, it's the beginning of the end of the Jedi, right? Because you're starting to see like they're still like in power, they're still like the police basically, but you're starting to see conflict within like inside, right? You're starting to see the politics of it, and you're starting to see the decline of the Jedi, which is going to lead up to the prequels, which, right, that's the whole thing, is that the Jedi kind of became almost so arrogant that they just let the Sith appear, because they were just so deep in the politics, the bureaucrats and all that stuff. So I think that's kind of the underlying kind of, I guess, not a storyline, but like the theme is that it's like the beginning of the end of the Jedi. So I don't know. Like I said, I liked them. I had no problem with any of the characters. The fish looking one kind of threw me off. I was like, whoa, like she looks like a fish. Like, she had like the gills and like
the one that you're wondering how she looks with hair.
The Jedi.
The green one.
No, not that one, but that one also threw me off a little bit because it looked like just like regular makeup. Like it looked like, just like they just blotted her with green paint. But no, yeah, some of the.
Hey, what Chris just said, I mean, they are like, put your shirt on. I mean, just what the fuck? You know what I mean? Put your shirt on. Like, it's like, I'm look at me without my shirt. It's like, dude, put your freaking shirt. I mean, it just stuff like that, just not necessary.
They did that with Kylo Ren too. Remember, Kylo Ren was just there shirtless, like.
Oh, I guess.
Why are you showing Kylo Ren shirtless?
Oh, that's funny. But
anyway. Did they ever show the original trilogy guys shirtless? No, right?
No.
Yeah, Luke had a
wife beater.
Yeah.
Man, there's just, and I know I'm going off, Gabe, but I just want, and they all do. Most people watching, they do. But you see Yoda and Luke in that little planet of Dagobah, and it's just so. It doesn't have to be a lot of action. I'm telling you, I could have gone 2 hours of Luke and Yoda on Dagobah alone. We could just make a whole movie on Dagobah. Like you want to do some really cool shit. Let's do a story on a couple Jedis and a couple snowtroopers. It's the story behind those, in The Empire Strikes Back. This is writing right here, Chief. I'm pitching right now. If Filoni or any Kennedy's watching, so you got a couple Imperial snowtroopers that were with Vader and all of them when they're coming down with the AT-ATs and all these people, and everyone's hauling ass and getting out of there. Well, there were a couple rebel soldiers that got behind, and same with the Imperial stormtroopers, because the caved in, and they're kind of were shooting at each other. And then all of a sudden, these fucking wampas start coming through. Remember George Lucas did all these wampa scenes?
Mm-hmm.
And then these people, these rebels and the snowtroopers have to get together instead of they were getting ready to kill each other. And they end up being friends and shit, killing off, fighting off wampas and shit. Now that's a story right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not this bullshit that's on.
Yeah, but you gotta think about big picture, right? Big picture. You gotta remember it's just like the toys back in the 80s, right? They would make the shows to sell the merchandise, right? That's how the 80s worked. The Care Bears were created after the toys were created. Mm-hmm. The G.I. Joes, right? The show was created after the toys to sell the toy. Everything in the 80s that we grew up on was made as a marketing technique to sell the toys. I think it's in that same era. They're making this stuff to market and for merchandise and to really appeal to.
So you're saying people wouldn't want to buy wampas?
What I'm saying is that little kids.
And I don't have anything against wampas, Brad. I think wampas are fucking badass. I have all sorts of them.
You have an unhealthy relationship with wampas?
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is that I think when you look at it big picture, right, people say like, well, what's the good thing about George Lucas selling the franchise to Disney? Okay, well, one is that we're going to get a lot more Star Wars, right? As opposed to if George Lucas had it, he would just only release
it's Star Wars universe. It's
right, little bits and pieces here, right? So the good thing about Disney owning it is that we're going to get content. We're going to get movies. We're going to get shows. Whether you like it or not, it's coming. What's the negative side? Well, the negative side is that Disney's a machine, and they are a money-making machine. And you can't have a movie just by itself or a show by itself. They're thinking merchandise, costumes, toys, everything related to that. So I think they have to find, as a corporation, they have to find this balance of like, well, how are we going to appeal to the kids that are going to buy the stuff, or
today's generation.
How are we going to appeal to that? And
well, they don't even play with toys anyway. They play with
and sell to them
toys.
I think their mistake, and I think we're all going to agree in this chat. I think with this, their mistake is that we should be the target demographic because we're the ones with the disposable income. People, let's say 35 and up, right, are the ones that are going to have money to be able to spend on higher end collectibles, on, on the stuff. And if they were to market it to us, right, if they would have done Boba Fett the way they should have, oh my God, we would all be dropping so much money on Boba Fett collectibles, on Boba Fett helmets, on, Mandalorian stuff. I mean, we have been, but I think we should have been the target demographic because we have that disposable income. They're just planning for the future, right? They're basically, it's a page off of George Lucas's playbook.
Yeah, but we're still around. They need to, concentrate on us.
Right. But George Lucas said, fuck you, original trilogy fans. I'm going to create this prequels for 8-year-olds. And I don't give a shit if you don't like this Jamaican fish looking dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him in there because the kids, right? And we all hated them for decades. And let's not pretend like we didn't. We hated the prequels. People still hate the prequels.
Yeah.
I'm gonna admit it. I was a prequel hater up until 2-3 years ago when I watched the cartoons, and then it kind of made me
yeah. And then and now they're getting pretty popular, right?
Right, because of the age demographic, right? It's those 8-year-olds that watch them when George Lucas put them out that are now in their 30s, and now they're like, oh, I grew up with them. I have a special
Johnny.
Yeah, I have a special attachment to those prequels, just like we have a special attachment to the original trilogy. And that's why prequel fans are generally not going to like the sequels, right? Because they don't have that same attachment. But the 8-year-olds that watched the sequels recently, in 30 years, they're going to grow up and be like, I love Kylo Ren. I love Rey because I grew up with them, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's all good writing, because that's the
absolutely not. And neither were the original trilogy, right? Like, think about it. How many people were so upset over the Ewoks? You lived it. I was a little.
Yeah, I hated that part.
Right, and the internet didn't exist back then, so it wasn't like a widespread hatred. But if the internet existed back then, tell me people wouldn't be hating C-3PO.
But at least it was a good completed story to round it up. You know what I mean?
Sure, but that's the Acolyte. We're picking apart 2 episodes, and we're picking apart these, every little thing. So in all fairness, if we were to pick apart the original trilogy, how many people hated C-3PO from the first one? I guarantee you a ton of people, because they're like, what is wrong with that little weird gay droid, right? Like, I'm sure there was a lot of people that didn't like C-3PO. He was comedic. He had a lot of, funny things.
Oh, you're talking about in the prequels?
No. In the original trilogy.
What?
Tell me people did not hate the. You could go look it up. There was a lot of complaints.
I don't believe
C-3PO. Yeah,
he did. There was a lot of overacting in Empire Strikes Back, but like in the original,
Yeah,
there was a couple little things.
C-3PO and the Ewoks. Those were the biggest, right? The biggest complaints back then. Ewoks, right? And think about when the special editions came out, right? With when he redid the special editions.
Yeah.
Everyone hated them. Like, how did you take away our song that we grew up on? And we hated it for it. The end scene, right? When they did the remastered Blu-ray ones where they inserted Hayden Christensen at the end.
Oh, that was stupid.
They made Wicket blink. They made Darth Vader scream no.
Oh, I didn't know they made Wicket blink.
Yeah, if you watch the Blu-rays, Wicket blinks, and it's so weird, and it's like it's the weirdest thing, man.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that funny enough, that's the one thing I hated about those Blu-rays is watching Wicket do a CGI blink. But anyways, what I'm saying is that we could pick apart the trilogy, the original trilogy.
But I like it now. I love hearing the Ewok song and shit.
That do that one.
Yeah.
I like Yub Nub is what I remember.
Yub Nub. No. Yeah, whatever. No, everyone together. No, but yeah. So I don't know, dude. I still think that we need to, like, the next thing, rebels. You know what I mean? Like Hoth rebel soldiers. You know what I mean? Fucking cool stories. I love the stories, like like that cool fun shit. Not just I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I could write out some really cool shit.
No,
I got some really good ideas.
The murder bears. Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching them as a kid, so I like the Ewoks, right? Because I was a little kid watching.
Yeah, them. I hated that when I'd go and the only figures they had up there when I was collecting. Yeah. Of course, I had to have every one of them, and then they had the little figures. I was like, little, Ewoks.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, what I'm saying is that, like, and I don't know, like Chris, yeah, I know and again, I was just saying that because I have seen people complain about that, like, and then again, it was back in the day, the Ewoks, being childish. who here in the chat hated the prequels? And let's be honest. Like when episode 1 came out, I hated it. I was like, this is the worst. Like I can't believe George Lucas made this, right? Or just, I mean, I don't know if who else would agree with me, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people did not.
I was so excited when remember everybody saw that poster of little Annie.
That poster was amazing.
And then Darth Vader's shadow. Yeah. I was just like, and then you see him at the pods, and he races 3,000 miles an hour through these canyons, and yet he picks him up and puts him in there, and he's like, "Wee!" It's like, what the fuck, I don't just, but you know what, I wouldn't mind just giving him a watch just because George Lucas did do them, and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna stick to my
like disappointed around Phantom Menace was incredible. Didn't hate them, seriously disappointed. You didn't hate the prequels, you liked. Okay, yeah, I hated Phantom Menace. Again, it was just one of those things. We all got caught up in the hype, and and they were made for little kids. So
the only thing that was good in that whole movie, and I know most people are going to agree with me, was in Darth Maul.
Oh,
100%. Oh
yeah.
Hey, what's up, Jens? Good to see you, brother. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just am one of the lucky ones that knows what.
But the double lightsabers, sure, right? There's that one scene that was cool. Like I told you guys, I worked at a movie theater when that movie came out, and I would time it. So I would look at the schedule of the movies, and I would time it. So I would walk into the movie as soon as like that scene where he's like, Anakin, stay in the pod, or stay in the pod or whatever, in the fighter. And exactly at that point, like I had it timed so then I could watch that scene where like Darth Maul comes out. And that was a badass scene. I loved that scene. And then episode 2 came out. So I know Chris said, you're disappointed about the Darth Maul lightsabers, but episode 2, I mean, I walked out of there like, what the hell just happened? Like, why is this happening to Star Wars? And again, I know it's an unpopular opinion now, but back then there was so much hatred to the point where like even George Lucas was just like, I'm done with the fans. Like, I'm not going to do interviews, do anything because there's so much hatred.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Probably more hatred than this Leslie girl's getting because, again.
You want to know the real reason why the hatred? I know why. You want me to tell you why? Some people are going to laugh because this is a fact. If you did what I did, kind of like this poster I got, Gabe, I went and bought what they did, and it was smart. They came out, does everybody remember, at midnight at Walmart? You could go and they pre-sold the toys. So I had to have one of everything on the prequels. And I got shopping carts and I'm loading shit up tight for money, but I'm getting one of everything for sure, maybe 2. And then the movie comes out and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, I see a lot of people here saying that, they're now prequel fans, right? But what I'm saying is that if you go back to 2002, let's say before Revenge of the Sith came out, Revenge of the Sith was good.
Yeah.
Right before that,
every time I watch that, Gabe, I always want him to be good at the end, like change. It's like, man, you got that hot ass woman, and you can do whatever you want. Live in that badass place where y'all got married, and I just don't. Yeah. But that you hate how the ending. Yeah. But that one was good.
Yeah, I'm telling you, what I predict is that just like all these original trilogy fans now, all of a sudden, big prequel fans, just give it 10 years, 15 years, there's going to be a lot of people liking the sequels. And they're going to be like, oh, like the sequels were really good. Kylo Ren was such a cool character. I was disappointed at first, but I didn't hate them when everyone was like talking crap about the sequels, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of just getting used to it and just coming to terms that you're never gonna reach that same high, right? That you got from the original trilogy. And once you realize that, then it's like, who cares? Let's watch.
That's what I told you. I go into these just knowing it's Star Wars content shit.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't like let me just put it this way. I like Bad Batch way better.
No.
I mean, I'll tell you that right now.
See, like Brad's comment here, we're gonna in 10 years, we're gonna see the substitution of prequels with sequels. And then people are gonna say, yeah, they suck. I don't hate them. You know, they're all right. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see, you know, what happens with all that. But activists writing shows and calling bands for, I mean, all shows are they're written. That's the one thing. Like, I don't know what people are expecting. I mean, Hollywood, it's liberal. Like, no matter what you think.
Yeah, we don't need to get into it, but
your favorite shows.
I know where Chris's frustrations are, but that's just the world. That's Hollywood, brother.
Oh, I get that, and they're all written by activists, and there's always some underlying, you know.
And that's the only thing is that they wouldn't try to make everything political, just try to keep things, you know, normal. They don't have to prove points.
Okay, Armando. Whoa, I did not expect that. I'm alright, but I prefer the sequels over the prequels. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kid, now there's short memory. Yeah, and that's the thing. Our attention spans are they're getting short, man.
Yeah,
are getting short.
Yeah, a kid today couldn't watch ET at all.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, the way I felt about Book of Boba Fett right after the Book of Boba Fett, I was just like, "Fuck, man! God damn it! Like they messed up Boba Fett." Like, I was
I was fucking pissed, dude.
Yeah, I think a lot of us were. Now,
I think even George Lucas was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. But now, you know, a couple
he was
years
the baddest character, dude. That dude, I remember the mail away getting that. Just holy shit, who's this guy gonna be? You know?
And that's what I mean. And like now, 2 years, 3 years later, whatever it is, I'm okay with, like, whatever. Like, I went back to seeing Boba Fett how I pictured him as a kid.
Me too. And we've talked about that.
Yeah, like I deleted the Book of Boba Fett from my brain.
Me too.
I'm like, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Happens. So
Fat Boba.
Yeah. We want to escape. We don't need real world stuff. Man, a lady with the fish ears is not real world. Like, that's the thing. Like, these characters, we don't even know if they're female or male. They're aliens. We don't know if there's even such thing as a female in the Star Wars universe. In fact, we don't even know if Luke Skywalker was male. He's an alien. For all we know, he has some weird thing down there that we don't know about. I mean,
okay, Gabe. No,
I'm just saying we're thinking them as humans. If we want to get down to the nerdiest, you know, reaction. And funny enough, I
maybe that way nowadays.
I credit my wife, because my wife's like, why are people hating on the Acolyte? I'm like, yeah, because they're saying that, you know, there's a bunch of women and a bunch of, you know, people of color, whatever. They're just complaining that they're inserting them in there. And my wife's like, they're aliens. They're all aliens. Like, what are they talking about? Like, why would they be upset that they're aliens? You don't know what sexuality an alien is, or what, you know, what it is.
But you know, a male from a female, and there's a shit ton of females. That's what they're
in space, in aliens. I'm just saying, like,
dude. But when you see a woman, you don't see a dressed up woman. When you see the bald one that's blue, you see her as an alien. But when you see a normal girl, like who got killed, the Matrix chick, or the African American chick, you don't see them as aliens. You see them as humans. Just saying.
Sure, but in canon, they're not human.
Yeah,
they're not from Earth. We don't know, right? We don't know what they're. We don't know what they're carrying in their pants.
But you know what? It's I'm gonna give it a watch when it comes out next Wednesday. You know, but I'm not there at midnight watching it. You know what I mean?
Luke has 5 balls.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Luke's a dude. I'm saying Luke's an alien, right?
Yeah.
We don't. Well, they're not from Earth.
Yeah. So my Luke
Is a human.
is a badass. You know?
You're Luke. You identify with your Luke.
That's exactly right. Yeah, from the original. You know,
Yeah.
it was a little weird. He had the hots for his own sister. Hey, you know,
Luke's classification from the books. Hey, the books are gone, man. The expanded universe is gone. I don't know what you're talking about, Brad. I deleted that. As soon as Disney told me to delete it, I deleted it from my brain.
Twin sacks.
Twin
it's getting bad right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but again, I think we take this stuff a little too serious.
Yeah, but yeah, it is. You're right, but that's what we're talking about. If it's not fun toys and shit,
that's the fun part about being a Star Wars fan, right? Like it's like you don't see Star Trek fans arguing about the characters that are in it, or maybe they do. I just don't know because
you don't want me to tell you what it is. I'm just going to be straight up. The majority of the people that are on our show that are been there from the beginning, and they all just want to see some really cool Star Wars stuff. They want to see a bunch of Rogue Ones, that can relate, and it's really cool stuff. You know what I mean? And writing good stories isn't very difficult. You just got to have imagination. And today's people do not have fucking imagination. That's what our problems are, But it's just a different society we live in. But that's all I gotta say. The baddest Jedi that ever lived is Yoda. He's a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yoda, dude. Yeah, Gabe. Yoda. Come on, Mr. I hate Yoda. Now I love him. Don't even get that way.
Yoda, really?
Yoda's the baddest, freaking hands down. All right, everybody. Who is the baddest Jedi out there? Okay, Vader, the original Darth Vader is a badass too, because that was Darth Vader. That's the first scary villain in the world. But Yoda's the baddest dude out there, and I just love. That's my favorite Jedi.
Better than Obi-Wan?
Yes.
Yeah. See, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan. Yeah, Obi-Wan was wise. He was very, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Yoda wasn't wise?
Oh, Yoda. See, this is
trained Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but then he's also
he didn't do a very good job, though.
Mine.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going. Okay.
I mean, I can't unhear Miss Piggy.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm gonna start.
I wish we had our boy on here tonight. Jordu Shell. I wish he was here, right, guys? Yeah. Where he belongs.
Oh man,
Yoda is badass.
Yeah,
there's just something. I'll never forget reading him in Time. He was in Time magazine. It was before Empire was released in the theaters, and I was like 12 or whatever. And I remember seeing Yoda's character, and knowing that he was going to be a powerful Jedi and all this. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I remember that in my childhood. That's neat. And I remember my friend got his name was Jerry, got the Yoda figure before I did. I wanted that fucking figure so bad, So little fun shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest Yoda fan still.
Can you imagine what it's like? Do you remember, guys and gals, what it was like back in the 80s to go to the mall and go to HB. You go to JCPenney's, you go to Montgomery Ward, you go to Kmart. You'd go to all these places, Toy Box, Toys R Us, Fun City Toys, and, Kitty City. You'd go to these places for toys.
Yeah.
And now it's Walmart or Target. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. Like, Johnny has a good question for you. Mike, would you ever consider getting a one-to-one prequel Yoda?
No.
What? Why not?
I don't like it.
What?
It's animation. I like the original shit. I like the puppet. The puppet, you had this beautiful CGI jumping all over the place, but he didn't look as real as The Empire Strikes Back. I'm sorry.
Lone Star was the best Jedi.
Who?
Yeah, Michael Spaceballs.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I don't have a favorite Jedi. I'm not a fan of the Jedi. You know what I mean? There's not really any cool. I mean, Obi-Wan, I think, but old Obi-Wan, right? That's
Yeah.
probably my favorite.
Did you see that thing on Peter Cushing? You know, he was a big.
Ahsoka. Yeah, that's my wife saying I like Ahsoka, but she's no Jedi. So, but it's true. I do like Ahsoka.
Nice. Is that your wife?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. What's up, Annie? How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that. Did you hear what I was saying about Cushing, Peter Cushing? He collected.
Oh yeah, the little figures.
Yeah, soldiers. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Andy said hi.
Okay.
But anyways, I knew, you know, there was gonna be some disagreement with the Acolyte, but are you gonna keep watching it though?
Yeah, but I will tell you that I would say that the majority of Star Wars fans out there aren't gonna like that.
But they're gonna watch.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference.
And bro, it could be something that could happen next week that I'm like, bro, I'm gonna tell you because I will. I'll tell you honestly. You know,
Dude, what if
I do know that when you get to meet them, Gabe, you meet the actors and stuff. You know, there's got to be a little something.
But I didn't meet the actors. I met the Ahsoka actors.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I wasn't.
So Ahsoka's your favorite Jedi.
I wasn't high enough in the.
Come on, Gabe. Tell everybody Ahsoka's your favorite Jedi.
She probably is. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh! See what I mean? Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. She walked away from the Jedi. She was like, "Fuck you guys!" Like, yeah, man.
That's how Pete is. Big Cat Pete is with Star Wars altogether.
Yeah,
I'm out of here, man.
Yeah, and again, look, here's the thing. Like, we're probably not gonna get too many original trilogy things like in the next couple years, right?
Yeah.
So I think, hey, look, right now we can, especially with collectibles, right?
Yeah.
Especially life-size collectibles. I think what Tom is doing, I think he's the only one that's sticking to his guns and doing original trilogy stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's one of those things like we should be grateful for Tom being a original Star Wars nerd, because honestly, without Regal Robot right now, we really wouldn't have anything original trilogy.
Yeah.
Nothing. It'd be so
okay.
Lucky we at least have that, right?
Yes, for sure.
Based on, isn't it weird how they never made a show based on the OT era? I don't think I don't know if they can. Like,
yeah.
Oh well, no, the Andor is, yeah. Do you have any predictions for LA Comic-Con guests after the announcement? It's probably going to be the same as last year too, right? They're going to have all the Ahsoka cast.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll get like Rosario Dawson. They'll get probably Hayden Christensen. He seems to be a little more accessible. Did you see Hayden Christensen and Mark Hamill are going to be doing photo ops in Chicago together?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Father
and son.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
far from Death Star. Tom is our OT drug dealer.
Yeah. Yeah. No
really, I mean, because like even EFX, right? EFX is really focusing more on the new shows and stuff. Hopefully they'll eventually get to original trilogy stuff again, but for now.
Gabe, are you going to Japan?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. Yep. Wow. Yeah, we got passes. We got
just you and Andy going, or are you taking the kiddos?
We're taking the kids. We're taking all of them. Yeah. Wow. 5 of us. We're gonna do it more of like a vacation. It happens that we're gonna start in celebration, right? So like that's gonna be our first couple of days, and then after that we're gonna go to, just touristy stuff. Go to Tokyo Disney. Oh yeah, Armando, I am gonna go to D23. D23 I'm actually excited for because we ended up getting really good seats for the panels, and they're giving an award to Harrison Ford and John Williams. hopefully, unless John Williams is getting sick or something.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I hope not.
For sure.
Yeah, good time to collect vintage Star Wars toys. Absolutely, this is the best time. But I'm almost done. I'm down to the last like 12. So,
but that makes it fun too.
yeah, yeah.
Good.
Well, cool, man. Well, it was super fun, man, hanging out again.
Yeah, for damn sure.
So this Saturday, no show, right?
Yeah, I can't do it Saturday.
Yeah.
But since we're going to close out right now, Gabe, if you don't mind, I'd like to say something.
Yeah.
To all our friends and Star Wars family out there, I'd like to. It's not a secret anymore, so it's something that can be talked about. Um, but I want to give a big heartfelt thank you to our friend Michael at NYC. I think that for those of you who know Michael for his statues and coming out with these incredible, ships and models, and he came out and created something that nobody else was doing. People that had licenses that were kind of holding these things hostage, having the license to do them. And I'm saying this with all due respect. He was doing something that was meant to be small, and it ended up growing out of control. And that's where the fine line is, because let's face it, it's not his stuff. It's Lucasfilm, but it was never his intent to screw anybody, Lucasfilm especially. He was just trying to take care of friends, and then it ended up being, a small business, and he never screwed one customer over. And him and his family are suffering pretty good right now, and he is doing the right thing, that what Lucasfilm wanted him to do. But I just wanted to say, on behalf of me, Michael, and I would even say Gabe, because I know Gabe is, really enjoyed some of the things that you've come out with. But the bottom line is, brother, just keep living your passion and doing your thing. And I wish you nothing but success, and things happen for a reason. And who knows, what will be under the next rock that is picked up. But I just want you to know, on behalf of me and a lot of people that watch our show, that are customers and definitely have become friends of yours, we love you, dude. And, keep doing what you do, man. So,
yeah. No, I second that. I mean, it's, it definitely is. I think he grew to,
I don't think he knew what was going to happen. And I don't think he meant it to happen, but it's just like, what do you do? It's kind of like, he knows where the mistakes were made, but he never wanted to intentionally screw Disney or anybody like that. And that's why he did the honorable thing. So, I mean, he's, they powered down on him, and he's just a great dude, man. A great dude.
And then again, it's one of those things that, like, he made such great things. He was taking care of the community. He had such a cult following, right? Like, there's such good, had a great following.
He was creating some incredible shit. I mean, accurate stuff where he was allowing people that normally would never be able to have these things.
Right.
And what I would suggest to a lot of these the people that carry these licenses, is you might want to consider reaching out to this dude, because this is a guy. And look, I get it that, he wasn't paying these license fees like Tom and a lot of people do. And it's a shit fucking ton of money. And so how much money are you profiting after you're paying the licenses? I mean, Tom's not skipping to the bank, and I get that. But the bottom line is he was still doing something that was correct. I mean, from the creating these things and the packaging, and get them to the customer in the right times. I mean, maybe some of these people need to reach out to him and, collaborate. And I would, I mean, for somebody like him, but who knows what'll happen, right, Gabe? I know there's still thousands of people out there that are creating things, and I know they're not on maybe the level that Michael was doing. And I don't know if he was used as
like as an example. I think, look, Michael is a great example of, like, kind of just, it's not just his fault. It's the community also, right? I think it was a private group. He was making stuff for a very small group, and then all of a sudden everyone started promoting him on social media, on YouTube, and I I've heard directly from like from the
Yeah.
Lucasfilm side that had a big part of it.
Yeah.
Is all the eyes. All of a sudden, you had all these channels and all these YouTube channels doing these big promotions for him.
Yeah.
What did they expect? Like the eyes are gonna focus on them, right? As opposed to if it was just a private Facebook group doing a few pieces, for a small group, which he didn't need to promote. And that's the sad part, is that he didn't need to promote. He had such a strong base. There's no reason for.
And after talking to him, he realized that too. I remember him saying that the same thing, and I know you've had conversations with him as well. And but I know everybody in the chat and that knows and has ever had dealings with him feels the same way. It's a bad deal all the way around for everybody. But I mean, a lot of these companies, I know we've heard in the past through Used and a lot of these other guys like Warner Brothers and some of these people, it's crazy. But again, who knows? Maybe I know he did reach out and try to do. He's doing the right thing. And what else can you do?
Yeah,
I think Disney will look at things and hopefully realize we're at least he wasn't screwing customers. You know what I mean? Can you imagine?
Oh, and
a lot of licensed people.
And that's the worst part, is that there's been people, licensed or unlicensed, that have screwed over our community so many times, like so many times, so many thousands of dollars lost. Which for him, that was never the case. That was never an issue. But it's
but I just I didn't want to make a big thing out of it. I just wanted to let him know that we all love him and appreciate all the work, because he's an artist. I mean, he created all those statues. He did a lot of the sculpts and created this stuff. And it was really cool. So
far from Death Star. Yeah, the promotions on social media, 100%. In fact, I could confirm that's what.
Yeah,
that was one of the reasons.
Yeah, so. But been there. It's just it's done now. So, but I know that me and him are going to maintain being friends, and I know him and his family are going through some tough struggles right now because of it. So, but yeah, Gabe, I'm telling you, man, I rushed home to be here and hang out with you and everybody in the chat, and it
feels like home.
It does, man. I miss hanging out with you, Gabe, and we've talked about it a little bit, but seeing you in person, Gabe, making the trip down, like Chris and everybody, a lot of people that are in the chat that did come down to be, support what it is that I'm building, and doing, and it was awesome seeing you guys again. So, but I think I can make it work, dude. Seeing you off the hand.
Okay. Let's figure that out, man. That'd be great. Hang out for a little bit, and that'd be great.
Sounds good. Are they going to be able to have projectors and stuff there like we did before, or no?
I'll get some information regarding that. And then if you're gonna come and you're gonna join me, so I can get you a pass too. That way you don't get one.
I'll jump on the mic, dude. Talk to me, and I've been going crazy on that.
Yeah, we'll make it. We'll make it a worse thing.
For sure.
We'll do a show maybe.
Yeah. That sounds really good.
Cool, man.
Sounds really good. All right. Love you, brother.
You, man.
You and your family have a good evening. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for being patient and understanding, most of all, with everybody's schedules and whatnot. And it'd be really good to get back on with it and get everybody on, get Joseph and old school Lee and Boudreaux.
We'll get back to it, man. And then again, if we'll talk it out and see if next Saturday, if you guys want to do that, or if you want to jump on or something, we'll figure it out.
And we, are known for showing, with our shows about collection wars and getting back on it with really badass collections and stuff.
That's right.
Well, there's so many of them out there right now that, I know we could get on. So,
yep.
But yeah, man. But let's let's try to get back on track if we can.
Yep. Cool.
So,
all right, guys.
All right, everybody, y'all have a good evening.